My name is Peter Burgell. I'm the director of Oregon Peaceworks now. But years ago, I was involved with the Trojan Decommissioning Alliance and with other organizations that were involved with trying to stop the Trojan nuclear power plant. I think it's important to look back a little bit on the history of what happened and what stopped the Trojan plant and other nuclear plants in Oregon. My part was to be involved in two of the sit-ins at the Trojan nuclear plant in 1977 and 1978, after having worked on educational efforts, working at the legislature, having worked on a failed ballot measure. We finally said, okay, well, we've tried the channels that the society has open for us to use to effect change, and now it's time to go outside the law and challenge the power, the nuclear power, directly, and create what Martin Luther King called a moral crisis. And I think we were effective at doing that. A lot of people were awakened to the struggle and the problems with nuclear power as a result of what we did. We took it to the ballot in 1980 and passed it with 52% of the vote. It requires an operating federal nuclear waste repository to be in operation before new nuclear plants can be built in Oregon, and furthermore, it requires a vote of the people before that can be done. So that has secured the state of Oregon from the depredations of nuclear power from 1980 until the present time, with the exception of the Trojan nuclear plant. It's possible for citizens of this state and citizens of other states around the world, around the country, to get serious about something that they feel is wrong, do something about it, and make change. So today, we celebrate the success of citizen action. So with that, I'll pass it on to some of the other people who are going to tell you a little bit more about the specific Trojan story.
When I heard the plant was going to go down, I was kind of upset about it, because I love to drive to Seattle and see it there. It's a trophy. It's a monument to what people can do, you know, and what organized people can do. You know, it had a green light from the financial community, from the political community, and you know, who were we? We were a bunch of nobodies. But in the end, because we were right, we prevailed, and it's a monument to that. On the other hand, seeing it come down, it gave people a chance to relearn the history all over again. We don't have any more chances to get the energy system and its link to the economic system correct. We've got global warming coming at us like a train. We've got the end of oil, and we've got nuclear waste, which is burdening our future into infinity. You know, we have to make the right decisions.
Margaret Mead once said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." At Trojan, this phenomena of a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens was experienced many times over. It was all the people being hauled off to jail in all the occupations that took place over the years. It was all the people who testified at legislative and licensing proceedings. It was all the lawyers who litigated. It was all the people who gathered signatures and signed petitions year after year. It was all the people who freely gave of their talents and resources. It was quite simply all the people who cared.
Nuclear waste is going to be so dangerous it has to be isolated from water and earth, from all living beings, for 500,000 years, for longer than mankind has had fire, and we got massive amounts of it. You can't dispose of nuclear waste. All you can do is move it from one place to another.
These are good spots, and so we're going to check out one more, and then we'll be with you guys.
your thoughts about the thing across the river?
I'm excited.
It's gonna be so cool to watch. It's gonna be
I think it reminds me of Mount St. Helens erupting.
yeah.
It just seemed to me that the problem was significant enough, and I realized that for once in my life there was something that I couldn't run from. There was no place to go. I mean, ultimately, you know, the day came where I had to make, at least in my own life, I had to make a decision as to whether, you know, I was going to worry about where the next dollar was coming from, or you know, try and do something about this. You have to think to yourself, when the hell are we going to finally say enough is enough? You know, when are we going to put a stop to this and make, you imagine all that money that could have been used to, you know, put photovoltaic panels on people's houses and build a sustainable energy reality that we don't have to worry about terrorists running their airplanes into our windmills, you know.
I don't really remember a lot from there because I was probably 6 or younger. I remember going in and seeing my dad at the jail and visiting him at jail with my godfather, Dave Berger. He brought me in. So, you know, that's like the biggest memory I have.
The Trojan plant was killed by citizen activism, and the proof of that is that there were 8 other utilities that had nuclear plants that had exactly the same problem as Trojan. All these Westinghouse plants had steam generators which were burning out decades ahead of their time. In every other case, all the other 8 utilities, they paid $250 million, spent the money, brought in new steam generators, kept the plants running. The one that died was Trojan. The reason it died is because PGE's management took a look down the road and they said, you know, we faced 3 challenges from initiative backers, and each time they've gotten closer to taking us out. It was 43% in the last campaign in 1992. And at that point, they knew that we'd get them sooner or later, and it didn't make sense to keep up the fight.